Located in the heart of California's wine country, Sears Point Raceway gives NASCAR folks a chance to turn right as well as left for a change. Since it opened for business in 1968, Sears Point has been one of the busiest racing facilities in the world. Whether it's NASCAR racing, motorcycle racing, drag racing, or sports car racing, this place is in operation for about 340 days each year. NASCAR first started racing here in 1989, with Ricky Rudd taking the win. Since then, it's been one of just 2 road races on the Cup schedule. Sears Point is a challenging 2-mile circuit with a lot of elevation changes. So the first thing you'll need to do is take the time to learn the course. There are no shortcuts here, boys and girls. Watch this lesson a couple of times and then get in the car and drive. Drive until you feel comfortable with the layout. Get comfortable with shifting gears and make sure you don't downshift too early and damage the engine. Unlike the oval tracks, where you'll want to put weight on the left side of the car to help it turn, at Sears Point you'll want to set up with a little bit of right side bias, since most of the turns here are right-handers, including the 2 most important corners on the track, turns 7 and 11. To pass here, you're going to need to be quick as you exit turns 6 and 10 so that you can get up alongside the other car and try to outbrake him going down into turn 7 or 11. When you're making pit stops, remember that track position is critical at Sears Point, because it takes over a minute to complete a lap and because it's difficult to pass. A lot of cars tend to finish on the lead lap here. Because of that, you may want to gamble on pit strategy by taking just 2 tires instead of 4 in order to pick up a few spots on pit road. Okay, it's time to get in the car so you can see what the heck I'm talking about out here. Coming up to the start-finish line, you're doing about 130 in 4th gear. Cross under the flag box and start turning left for turn 1. You want to be on the outside edge of the track and going about 140 when you get to the bridge. Roll out of the throttle and downshift the 3rd. Let the car set and bring it back to the left. Give it a little gas to keep up your momentum. You're doing about 85 at this point. Halfway down the curbing on the left, start getting on the brake and downshifting to 2nd gear for turn 1A. Get down to 55 or 60 and turn the car to the inside of the corner. At the apex, roll the throttle back on, but watch out for wheel spin. Drift the car out to the curbing on the left and get back to full throttle as soon as you can. Shift the 3rd as you get to turn 2, a left-hander. Bring the car back to the right. As you see the runoff area on the right, get back on the brakes. You may bottom out here, so be careful. You're doing 65 as you enter turn 2. Keep it to the left on exit because you want to be set for the right-hander, turn 3. Turn 3 has a blind exit, and it's the highest point on the track, so a good line through here is very important. Get the car right up to the inside curb and be gentle with the gas here because it's easy to lose the back end. Coming out of turn 3, you'll drift the car left at full throttle. You're still in 3rd gear as you head for the entrance to the chute. You're going downhill, so you need to brake a little earlier than you may think. Use the banking here and get on the throttle hard for the straight section, and then it's a heavy braking zone at the exit. Now watch out, it's bumpy, and it's real easy to lock them up here. You'll need to downshift to 2nd for this slow right-hander. Try to keep the car to the right as you get on the throttle at the exit so you can get a good entry into the S's. Work up to 3rd gear. You want to try to take the first set of S's in a straight line, so as you see the first left-hander, turn the car in and let it go over the inside curbing. That'll set you up so you can do the same thing on the following right-hander. Now it gets tricky because the 2nd set of S's is sharper, and you won't be able to straight line them. Get out of the throttle and let the car roll through the next left. At the apex, look for the right-hander coming up and point the car's nose right at it. Give it a little bit of throttle just before you get there. Now watch out as you exit because the track drops away and it's easy to get a wheel off. Bring the car back left and get up to full throttle and 4th gear. Next up is the right-hander, turn 10. Just as the tire wall starts on your left, straighten out, get on the brakes, and downshift the 3rd. Get off the brakes as you come under the bridge and let the car set. You're doing around 90 here. Get back in the throttle as soon as you can, but watch out because this is an off-camber corner and the rear end likes to step out here. Go back up to 4th as you head down the straight. Let the car drift to the right slightly, and when you get to the white line at the start of pit road, get on the brakes as hard as you can without locking them up. You need to go down to 1st gear and about 35 miles per hour for turn 11 because it's a hairpin. Once you have the car slowed down, turn in and try to get as close as you can to those tires on the inside. At the apex, start to get back in the throttle, but be really careful you don't spin it. Bring the car out to the pit wall and up through the gears. Stay at full throttle and let the car drift to the right through the little left kink before the start-finish line. Let's go around one more time. A good lap at Sears Point is about 1 minute and 20 seconds flat on good tires. You can see that there's a whole bunch of places where you can get in trouble here, so don't get too aggressive until you know this place like the back of your hand. Well, that's Sears Point Raceway. An awful lot of people think it's the most challenging track on the schedule, and I'm going to be right up front with you. The first few times you try to get around this place, you may get frustrated. There are blind corners, hairpin turns, and enough elevation changes to make you feel seasick. The biggest key is to battle through that frustration and keep practicing. Now, it'll take a while, but once you get past that first big hurdle and you start concentrating on racing instead of just trying to keep the car on the track, you'll find that this place can be an awful lot of fun.